Let me introduce you to Dean. I don't believe y'all have met before.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they met before. Lady meets a man she falsely accused of funky funky after he has lost 14 years of his life in prison.
We have a seat right here. Sit right. It's all right. You can have a seat right here. Okay. Dean, let me introduce you to Loretta, and this is her husband as well, Monty, and I'm very happy to say that y'all haven't really met before, but here you are. So, Loretta, tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
I'm scared. To see his face again is scary.
And you've seen his face in the meat market, and you've seen his face in court, but you haven't seen his face in an alley, and you haven't seen his face other places, and you get that up here, right?
Yes, sir.
It's still emotional down here.
Yes.
14 años en prisión.
Ya lo sé. Ya lo sé. I'm making this video right now, and my wife was just listening with me, and she's like, she's crying? Why the heck is she crying? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, he was 14 years in prison. I'm like, yeah. How would you talk about I feel looking at the man when the guy went 14 years to a prison?
Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now.
I just hate that you had to go through something like this. I hate that I had to go through something like this because of this situation. And I hope and pray that we both can get closure in this.
So ladies and gentlemen, I did some research because the commentary was a little too funny, then I was too angry, then I thought, do some research, and I found out she was 15, something very bad happened to her by a bunch of men, and later she had to point a finger to certain black men that might have done it. And without the right DNA evidence, they just picked and chose and sent this guy to prison.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And I can understand she is not really at fault in that situation. It's just the system is very against black people in certain situations. And this is not long ago.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted to tell the truth. I'm so sorry.
But you're doing good, Loretta. Stay with us here. I think you need to understand, and some of the things that you haven't heard Dean say, but he gets that you were 15, and he gets that you were hurt really, really bad by somebody, and he hates that for you. What do you want to say about that, Dean?
Yeah, I hate you had to go through something like that. I hate now that you have children, that your kids have to go through something like that. And I hope and pray each day that you can get closure. And this day, I accept your apologies.
What? Look, I'm just happy he can forgive her. I'm happy that she can get some closure. But one comment sticks with me. You met him or saw him in a meat market?
You've seen his face in the meat market.
So you just saw a face and something happened?
You haven't seen his face in an alley.
And you just pointed out, I think some black people were there. He's there. I'm like, there's something about it that is weird. And at least the comment section of Dr. Fur is like she struggled to accept it, that it might not be him, even though they found DNA evidence that proved it wasn't him. I'm like, Why do we still show her so much sympathy when he lost freaking 14 years? I can't compare your hurt feelings to 13 years I've lost. I'm just glad the girl that he was dating is still with him.
Because after they found me guilty, right, and I told Jewel, I said, go ahead, go on with your life. I'm gonna try to fight this, and try to get my freedom back. And she told me, no, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna fight this with you. And she did.
All I have to say is this guy is lucky, this girl is blessed. I'm glad they're still going strong together, because if it happened right now instead of 14 years ago, I'm not sure both of them might have had the right mindset to stay together.
Right now, Loretta?
Being here next to him.
What makes that hard?
Because I feel ashamed. I feel like I did something wrong.
And that is the part I find weird. Yes, you might have not done it intentionally. You did it, but it was out of your control. But I don't understand why everybody had to hold your hands, be so empathetic. It's okay, you sent him 14 years. I don't care how bad it made you feel when you were outside for 14 years and then now you need to confront the person. I don't care how you feel. I want to hear how he feels. 14 years. How do you manage to stay strong after 14 years? Focus on that story. How we can forgive and go forward.
Have you accepted in your mind, I know y'all talked about this before and after we talked yesterday, you've accepted in your mind that this is not the person that did this to you?
After talking to you and my husband, yes.
So,
all I have to say is this. I find it very interesting that she had to go through husband Dr. Phil to be able to talk to this man so she can finally accept certain things and go forward. And nobody is focusing on the 14 years that he lost, that he needs to go forward. See her cry for her decision that she was part of. He can't react, but he needs to keep looking forward, be like, it was just 14 years. I better be happy with this because any response might put me in a bad situation. Let's listen to the detective, what he has to say.
you have to say to these two so he understands that it was not the evilness of this woman, and she understands that she didn't have to have a bad intent in order for this system to break down.
Right. Well, eyewitness identification is always a difficult problem. It's virtually never the fault of the eyewitness. There are things that we can do to make eyewitness identification better. There may be some blame in this case, but not of the witness, but rather perhaps at the level of the investigation. We know now better that composites can change memories. We shouldn't single out individuals as being suspects based merely on their similarity to a composite.
I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised she used that footage to talk about the girl, a moment that she looked the most guilty. And at the same time, I think the guy is also surprised that instead of talking about the pain that he lost 14 years, you seem to be more focused on the girl, which I understand. 15 is a unique age and bad stuff happen, but she is out with pain. He was locked with pain. And for some odd reason, that locked pain doesn't seem to have value on this show. That is what I'm seeing, at least.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Dur loqueta verdeta welcome.